First 8:36 headlines.
Business headlines on Dubai Eye 103.8.
With JAFSA, be part of a thriving community of over 760 F&B companies from 97 countries driving global food trade. Visit jafsa.ae or meet the team at Gulfood 2025.
Etihad Airways reporting record profit of 1.7 billion dirhams last year. The Abu Dhabi Airlines said passenger numbers climbed more than 30% to 19 million.
UAE awarding 10 military contracts worth just over 10 billion dirhams on day 3 of IDEX, pushing the total value of contracts awarded so far at the Defence Expo to almost 20 billion dirhams.
Saudi Arabia's public investment fund is reportedly in talks to buy the company that makes the Pokemon Go video game. Bloomberg says the deal for Pikachu and friends could be worth $3.5 billion.
UAE's role in global finance will keep growing on the world stage. That's what Ali Dibaj, the CEO of Janus Henderson, told Business Breakfast a little earlier on today. Company manages more than $250 billion in assets.
And it was a busy night of tech launches in the United States. Microsoft unveiling its new quantum computing chip, while Apple launching a cheaper iPhone that can run AI.
Property Pulse.
With Espace Real Estate. Think Dubai Real Estate. Think Espace Real Estate.
Yeah, continuing the theme of real estate now, delighted to welcome into the Dubai Eye studio the team from Espace Real Estate. Gil Van Gelder's here today. Gil, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. Thank you very well. Thank you for having me again.
Right, you're Director of Residential Brokerage. Just want to pick up where Jonathan from Aldar left off. Big new launch in Dubai. Yep. As a broker, do you think, well, hey, here we go, more prime real estate to sell? Or do you think, really? Is that not just too much inventory? I think I can guess the answer, but I'm going to let you answer it.
No, it's great. We were talking in the green room. We were kind of high-fiving because it's another off-plan development. I think there was one launch every 18 hours last year. But this is a development that has a villa communities, villa sales, and that's quite important because all the rest have really been focused on the apartment market. So the larger villas, that's what there's high demand for. So yes, we're all very delighted with that for sure.
And Tom, just to bring you in here now, I mean, there's lots of real estate launches at the moment, aren't there? Some of them have been officially announced. Some of them have been widely reported in the press. I mean, what could we say about real estate launches this week?
Large.
Yeah.
In more ways than one. We had the Burj Azizi launch, didn't we? Earlier on this week. Azizi Developments unveiling the Burj Azizi, set to be the world's second tallest tower at 725 metres. They launched at the Coca-Cola Arena 2 nights ago. Oh, J-Lo was there as well.
J-Lo was there as well. I mean, Gil, when you started off in this, when did you start off in the Dubai real estate business?
Next week will be my 13th anniversary here in Dubai and at Espace Real Estate. So 13 years ago. Very different landscape now.
I'm guessing J-Lo wasn't launching real estate developments then.
J-Lo was just kicking off her career, I assume, back in Miami.
But it's an interesting point that you raise. The market's booming. Okay, buyer registrations at your brokerage, Espace Real Estate, up 26% versus the same period last year, first 6 weeks of the year. And last year was not a shabby year, was it?
No, it wasn't. It's a great metric to have. It's something we track really closely because it's kind of a glimpse into the future in terms of activity and what to expect for month on month in terms of deal closure. So more buyer registrations came in across the residential ready market. And for the off-plan team, leasing is also up 5%. So there's still a lot of demand in the Dubai real estate industry for sure.
Can we pick up on the point that you made earlier about villas versus apartments? It's something that you and the team from Espace have picked up on a number of times, that the pipeline of off-plan heavily skewed towards apartments. Obviously, Burj Azizi, by definition, is a tower. It's apartments. The Aldar development we're talking about is villas. How are you seeing that dynamic playing out?
So, like their last project, I think sold out quite quickly because it's very focused on the villa community. And I think they've got a mix of villas and apartments. So, again, I think they'll have a very successful launch in 2 weeks in the Coca-Cola Arena.
But if we look at the villa sales prices, you say actually the sweet spot for villas at the moment is about 5.5 to 6.5 million dirhams, which is a lot of money, but that is down. Talk me through that.
So January, we saw, although we did the most amount of transactions we've ever done on a month, the average sweet spot, the average sale price was around the 6 million mark. So, but in February, the landscape's going to be very different to that because we've sold over 30 million properties already last week, around 3 or 4 of them. So I think the millionaires are just coming back from their Christmas holidays now. They're starting to come in the market, and the people that bought in January are more the people that, what were kind of thinking about it last year and finally pulled the trigger and purchased the property.
At that 5.5 to 6.5 million price point, is that owner occupiers? Is that people who live and work here in Dubai?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're seeing is people that have been in Dubai and they've been in they've been in rental accommodation for a while, and they see themselves here for the next 5 to 6, 7 years, and they've decided to purchase the property now instead of renting. So we are seeing the purchase versus renting really increasing.
So we've got villas versus apartments. That's one of the decisions people have to make. Another decision is to finance with a mortgage or to buy for cash. And you say there are different dynamics playing out in that market too.
Yeah, absolutely. So we saw an increase of 20% in the cash purchases for January. Although there's some great mortgage products out there at 3.99% fixed, a lot of people are just going the cash route. So they've obviously done very well here for a few years and just want to buy the purchase with no liabilities.
Is that the old cliche of the millionaires and billionaires flying into Dubai and buying things up? Or is that people who live and work here and have earned the money here?
It's a bit of both, but I would say 80% is more the people that live here and they don't want to leave. Where are they going to go? So they're here, they want to stay, they want to build upwards, so they're purchasing their property for their family home. So yeah.
So if you were a developer, what would you be building now in Dubai if you could get a plot of land?
I would be building villas with spacious plots and spacious built-up areas because that's what seems to be the demand at the moment.
But
space, privacy, and large areas.
Spacious plots are great, but there's no built-up area on a spacious plot, is there? Can Dubai afford to be having spacious plots anymore?
Well, you are starting to see them a little bit more in the upcoming. If you go a little bit further out, they are getting bigger. You get a lot more for your money in terms of space. So it depends where you're building them, location-wise.
And the price per square foot that you're paying for the land.
Yes, absolutely.
You're not going to be getting spacious plots in Business Bay, are you?
No, absolutely not. Or nothing near the coastal line. You have to go well into the desert to get these kind of amenities.
Can we talk more about the leasing market, the rental market?
Yeah.
Let's be honest, most people are in the rental and leasing market. And you say that although the leasing market is still healthy, it hasn't seen the jump that sales has.
No, we've seen a 5% increase in rentals registrations, and the prices have increased quite a lot in sales, but they've also increased quite a lot in leasing in the rental side of things. So what you're paying now for a Meadows villa, for example, on a yearly basis, what you were paying a few years ago, and what you're purchasing them at after getting a mortgage, let's say, it makes more sense if you see yourself here for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years to purchase versus renting.
Okay, fair enough. We've got a minute left. Let's look at those numbers. You mentioned Meadows villas, so we'll pick that one up. Mid to high-end villas. What am I paying to rent one? And the comparable villa, what am I paying to buy it?
So you're probably looking at around the average price of 500,000 dirhams to rent the property for a 12-month cycle. And I think the average price for the Meadows at the moment is anywhere between the 8.5 to the 9 million mark.
Okay, so if you take a mortgage out on that, 3.99%, people are doing the maths and thinking,
yeah, you're talking about 25,000 after the down payment. If you have the down payment available, you're talking about 25 to 30,000 dirhams a month.
Okay, so you're paying half in mortgage installments than you would be in rent for a comparable property.
Absolutely.
If you can get the down payment.
Yeah.
But that's a chunky down payment at that level, isn't it?
It is indeed, yes. It's definitely a commitment you have to do with your family, and it's a commitment to anyone that's seeing themselves here for the next 5 years. It just makes sense, in my eyes, in my opinion.
Gil, always good talking to you. Thanks very much indeed for your time this morning.
Thank
Gil
you.
Van Gelder, Director of Residential Brokerage at Espace Real Estate. Coming up next, Tom, Gil is passing the property baton to Alan, yeah?
Yeah, Alan's going to be joining us in just a few moments' time. Alan Kudahi is waiting in the green room at the moment. He's been listening on intently. He's basically going to come in and disagree with everything that Gil's just said there.
We like that.
Dubai Eye 103.8 traffic.
With Yas Island Abu Dhabi, stay at iconic hotels and play at record-breaking theme parks. Book now on yasisland.com.
E44 southbound, load of traffic, Ras Al Khor all the way down to Dubai Hills, turn off. JVC into JVT 311, meeting the 44, not great there. Couple of accidents for you also on Hesse Street, right towards the top of Hesse Street, heading up into Barsha Heights. That's going to slow progress down there for a little while. And still pretty busy coming in from the Northern Emirates. Yeah, a lot of traffic coming across the border, Sharjah into Dubai. Got any updates? Do send them to us, please. You can text us on 4001.
Dubai Eye 103.8 traffic.
Please keep your messages coming. We're loving them right now on any of the issues we're talking about this morning. Global finance, geopolitics, of course, the real estate market here in Dubai. 0487155500 on WhatsApp.
Weather check.
With Air Arabia, the Super Seat sale is here. 500,000 seats from just $100.